y'all, it's Britt Latrice and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here today. So today we're going to discuss some luxury bags that I was obsessed with at one point, y'all. Like literally would have considered selling my right arm. Not really, but I would have maybe in the tiniest bit for some of these ones considered it. But I am so happy that I didn't buy. And ultimately, I feel like I either grew out of them or new options just became available that looking back now, I can say may be a better fit for me and my needs as opposed to what I initially wanted. So let's jump right in. Guys, I know I say this a lot, but if I look down, I am just reading from my LV agenda cover to make sure that I discuss the right ones with you. Okay, this is in no priority order, but the Chanel 19. And there were two specifically that I wanted. I either wanted the caramel one. It was so viral at the time because people are just obsessed with caramel because it's such an ode and a nod to vintage Chanel and certain colors that were made like back in the day with the earlier series like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and kind of around that time. Clearly there's other series where caramels were made, but the variation, the depth, the tone, the undertones, they just like, as a person who now owns a vintage Chanel caramel flap, nothing compared to the old ones. Like they just can't. I can't really tell you what it is or what it isn't, but there's just something about them. They've come a little close at times, but there is something about those vintage Chanel browns and caramels that just hit very different. So yes, but back to the bag. So I wanted the caramel one, and I also wanted the all black shearling one. As much as I always had wanted one, every time that I would go to buy, it was always met with so much hesitation. It wasn't one of those things that I embarked on and felt a lot of ease about. There was just something about it that I was like, ugh, I don't know. And looking back, I am not a person who really likes puffer bags like that. I don't really love that trend. I don't really love that style. I didn't really enjoy the mixed metal strap. There was just so much about it that just fundamentally just did not work for me and align with my personal style. It was being pushed on all of us by the brand so heavy. I think we all just adopted it because it was what was available. But now looking at some of the newer innovations and the newer options, I really, you know, the 22 didn't do it for me either, but that was an easy like, nah. I like it on other people and I love how people have styled it and I love that people find it such a practical bag, but I think for me, the Chanel 25, it feels like it's not the best of both worlds, but it has some aspects of the 19 that I liked and it has some aspects of the 22 that for that easiness, that tote-like bag in a sense that I just think that one for me works better. And that bag would make me happy that I waited and didn't buy the 19 because again, the 19 and I fundamentally just were not aligned. Girl she just can't get with it. I just couldn't get with it. So all that to say, love it on other people, but I am so glad that I did not make that a part of my personal handbag collection. So the next bag is the YSL I Care bag. Guys, oh my God, when that came out, I remember it was such a frenzy. Zoe Kravitz had it on. It was being photographed with all these celebrities. It was a thing and it's still a thing. I mentioned it before, but I really like that oxblood, Bordeaux, more burgundy color that they have. I think that one's really beautiful, but the logo on it is huge. And I actually am a person who really doesn't mind a logo, but that one, I think for my lifestyle is a lot. I think that one is more conducive to a person who can throw it on, throw it in the car and keep it moving. I don't like the idea of having that one with me on public transportation. And listen, I know like having nice bags on the New York subway is not like a big deal at all. However, one with such a distinctive logo just would make me a little uncomfortable. So it's not that I don't like it, but it is a rather large bag with a rather large logo. And I think even though it would get great use and be appreciated, there are things about it that would just like make me a little bit uncomfortable. And it's interesting because like now, again, with more options available, I think the Hop is a similar, very different, but a similar option that has way less branding and just great craftsmanship as well that fits the bill. So that would be my choice now, before pursuing the eye care bag. But listen, if the eye care in Bordeaux ends up at the Saint Laurent outlet, she might come home with me. I'm not even gonna hold you. She ain't gonna ride the train with me, but she might come home with me. So that's just my truth. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm just saying. So the next bag is the Louis Vuitton Noé. And in a similar vein, I want to put them kind of in the same category, the Fendi Mon Trésor. I think that's how it's pronounced, but they're basically bucket bags. And it's so funny because I actually purchased both of those. I purchased the Fendi Noé, the medium one in Paris. And before I went home from Paris, I was like, nah, this isn't what I thought it would be. But I love the vintage one. I love a big vintage Noé. Like I love when I see the girls just like have it over their shoulders. There's just something so cool and effortlessly chic about that bag to me. So it's not that I don't like it. And then the Fendi one, that one's a smaller bucket bag. I had that one. I can't even remember the version I bought. Oh, a shearling version. Me and these shearling bags, y'all. I love a shearling bag. I don't know what it is, but my friends who also are luxury lovers are always like, Britt, you know the lifespan of those shearling bags is a lot shorter than the leather, so keep that in mind. But listen, a girl likes what she likes. So for the LV one, it's not that I don't like it. I actually still like it, but I think I would just rather have a vintage one personally. And I love the big one, but it feels a little too big sometimes. I really struggle. And then with the Fendi one, that one, it just didn't really close as tightly and fit as much because it is a really tiny cutesy handbag as I wanted it to. So it just didn't work. And if I were to get anything from Fendi at this time, it really would be a baguette. Like I just love a baguette. I think they're great. And if I'm gonna do a small bag from Fendi, it's gonna be a baguette. Like it needs to. The next bag is the Louis Vuitton bum bag, but the shearling one. You know who had it and deeply influenced me was the content creator, The Gray Layers. She had it and would take the most exquisite photos of it, and I'm like, oh my God, I want this. But it was a special edition Louis Vuitton bum bag, and honestly, it was always sold for so much over retail. And then at retail, I think it would just sell out so immediately that it was nearly impossible to get your hands on at that price. The truth is, I already have a Louis Vuitton bum bag. It was actually my first luxury purchase as an adult, and what kind of kickstarted this whole, I don't know, love affair. But having two of the same bag, even though I love the other one so much, just felt very premature to jump and pounce on a different variation of the same bag instead of allowing myself to try other bags. So I ended up not getting it, and like I just slowly kind of like got over it. I've never stopped loving that bag. However, I'm glad I gave myself a chance to try other brands, other styles, because that's how you learn. It's one of those things where it would be nice to have, but it's not a must-have. The obsession and deep desire to own it that I once had is just no longer there because there's just so many other options now. Another bag that I really heavily considered was the YSL shoulder bag. It just didn't feel very innovative. It's a very simple classic silhouette with a YSL logo. I know a lot of bags are like that technically, but that one just felt a little too oversimplified to me for its price point. Even though I do love when I see it pop up on like social and places, it just wasn't something that drew me in and felt like a must-have. It was just okay. I felt like I can get that anywhere else and pay significantly less money. I think a baguette could still suffice whatever purpose that bag serves. Like, all signs point to get a Fendi baguette. All right, we're down to the final two. So the Celine Cabas drawstring bag. I thought that bag was really cute when it came out. I actually saw it at Woodbury when I was there in November, and I didn't even inquire about the pricing because that's how much I think I've gotten over it. But it was just, again, a basic tote with drawstrings that had the Celine Triumph on it. and I was okay. It's not really a standout. It's just one of those like tried and true worker bee bags, you know? Yeah. And then the last one is the Celine Romy. I actually did purchase this one and I took it back. And it's because to achieve the aesthetic that we all know and love it for, you really can't have anything in it. And that was really hard because there's technically room to put things in it, but it's kind of a balancing act. And just like the mental gymnastics that I would have to do to get that bag to give in the way that I wanted it to give was just way too much, especially for the price. I was like, you know what? Nope, nope, nope. All I need is like a little hobo-y, slouchy bag that does its thing. I know y'all may be annoyed with me by now, but the Jody does the same thing. And guess what? You don't gotta have all the mental gymnastics for the Jody. You just fit what you fit. It's gonna slouch, it's gonna do its thing, and it's gonna give. Like, that's it. I don't want all this, like, I don't want to have to be a mathematician with these bags, you know? I don't want to have to do all this mental math and like chemistry and equilibrium testing and stuff with these bags. I needed to just pick up, come with me to wherever we going and go. What did Jay-Z say in the song Girls? He's like, fix your hair in the mirror, let's go. Like, that's it. That's it. That's all these bags need to do for me. That is all these bags need to do for me. So yeah, that's the long and short of it with that bag. I want girls, 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 girls I do adore. So put your number on this paper because I would love to date you, holler at you when I come off tour. All right, guys. we got some cracking up. That is what I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know in the comments if there's some bags that you guys used to be like so obsessed with, like couldn't get enough of, on your vision boards, on your wish list, on everything, and then one day you're just like, yeah, nah, I'm all right. Let me know if that happens to you guys. I feel like it happens more often than we talk about, at least on here. So that is everything that I have for you guys today. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications each time that I upload. I'll chat with you later. Bye.